I want to talk about your background because I can't even believe you're here based on your background. There's nothing in your early days that would imply that you would be as successful as you are today, in my opinion. And I want to go into that. But first of all, I know you as like the king of Dubai. Well, not the king of Dubai, but one of the most plugged in guys, an OG here, who's been here for a long time and seen the whole thing grow. Can you tell me about your experiences in Dubai? How long have you been here? Why did you stay here? And like what you've seen over this past decade plus.
Imagine you go and work for a company where the boss that you work for is really ambitious and he really wants to be successful and he really wants to take you with him. Now plant that into a city. Bear in mind I've lived in 9 countries before I came here. So I've been around the world, South America, Far East, Africa, Europe. I've been all over Eastern Europe. So I've got a fair understanding of what people are like around the world. And then I come here to this city and I remember what happened, and people won't necessarily know all of the UAE, but I landed at the airport and I had a meeting in a place called Al Ain. Now Al Ain is a town about an hour and a half from Dubai. So I arrive at 2 o'clock in the morning, I jump in a taxi and I give them, the taxi driver, the Hilton Hotel Al Ain. And he's like, Al Ain? And I'm like, that's what it says. He went, Al Ain? I'm like, yeah. So we drove through the night and we got to this hotel. I wake up the next morning, open my curtains, okay, there's mountains. I'm like, are we in the right country? I thought this was desert. Anyway, the guy I was meeting met me, we had the meeting and he drove me to Abu Dhabi and it was very Arabic, you know, it's very a big part of Arabia. Lots of sand, lots of desert, lots of kind of old buildings, nothing too swanky and sexy. And then later on in the day, about 5 o'clock, we drove to Dubai from Abu Dhabi. And as we're coming towards Dubai, I could see these lights and these stuff going on in the distance. I'm like, oh, that's Dubai. And so we're driving up this highway and I'm like, and so I said to the guy, I said, is that Dubai? He went, no. I said, what's that? He said, oh, that's Dubai Marina. That's a project they've just started. I'm like, that is a marina. It's the biggest marina project ever built in the world. And this is the first part of Dubai that I saw. And I'm like, holy macaroni.
What year is this?
This is 2005.
5, okay, 20 years ago.
The marina had 6 towers that had just been finished. The rest of it was nothing.
And they had dug out the
Yeah, the water was there. The water was there.
But just 6 towers.
But not both ends, only one end. So you couldn't go all the way through and loop around.
Wow.
So that place that I know you at, that was all blocked off at the beginning.
Okay, and the Palm was?
Palm was built, but there weren't houses. There were a few houses on it.
Okay.
So they were just started. So they were just selling them off plan when I was there, and then people were moving into the first houses. And then people were saying, yeah, you can buy a house for £500,000 on the Palm Jumeirah. And I'm like, who the hell would want to live on a man-made island? You've got to be nuts. But I also said that about the marina. Yeah, like, who the hell would want to live in the marina? And this, and like, who the hell would want to live in JBR? You know, all of this stuff. It's like, why would they want to do that? But you could just see that there was real ambition. And what I learned very early on is that we don't have politics.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
Here. So in England, what do we meet? We meet, how's the weather? How's the traffic? How's public transport? Politics, religion, normal conversations in the UK. We don't have politics here. And that was really refreshing. We don't have weather either because it's either hot or mega hot. So hot is all it is. So I'm in a country where you can see there's ambition, you can see there's lots of stuff being done. Across the road from my office at the time, they were just about to build the Burj Khalifa. And so it was a big construction site of which nothing came out the ground at first because all the foundations and the underground car parks were being put in. But then slowly this building came out of the ground and every week another floor went up and it was literally outside of my office window. And I'm like, wow. And this huge shopping centre, I'm like, wow. And they're like, this is going to be a whole city, a whole district. This is downtown. And I'm like, I knew it as the desert. I was running around with a football out in the desert before. So I saw this going on, and I could see that there's a lot about this place that was cool. And another thing that was really interesting is every time my mum and dad came to visit, my dad's an architect. Every time mum and dad came to visit, my dad was like, oh, look at that building. Oh, look at that. He was spotting stuff he hadn't seen 3 months before, and he couldn't believe how quickly they were constructing it. And so that gave me a good understanding of what was going here and the ambition. And one of the greatest marketing statements I saw, they were building the World Islands. And as they were building, there was a billboard on the Sheikh Zayed Road, and it said, Dubai puts the world on the map.
Phew, nice.
And I was just, that is so cool.
Nice. Very well said.
Yeah.
Did anything make you want to hesitate coming here? Or were you just kind of like, I like the energy, I want to be here?
So a lot of people, when they live overseas for the first time, they've got a transition that culturally is a big shock for them and everything else. I came here after living in different countries, and so it was another place to come.
Okay.
It was once I got here that I saw the opportunity and the amount of people that were moving here. Tourism wasn't big then, so everyone that was coming here was an expat to work, and the numbers were just colossal. They were growing all of the time.
Even back then?
Yeah, but I also was here in 2008 when it fell apart.
Okay.
So I saw all of that. You know, the city emptied. No, we have traffic here now. Well, we had traffic like that then. But then it stopped. Everyone left. And so literally the motorway, the Sheikh Zayed Road, was empty. And so it was really interesting to watch it all happen.
So financial crisis happened, and then they stopped basically doing real estate and building here, just because everything was hurting, not a lot of money out there.
Correct.
And it just stopped and slowed down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it came back.
It came back, that's right.
Okay. And how different is now compared to 20 years ago, you know?
So there's some downsides with growth, so we have to be honest about that. And so for me, 20 years ago, wherever I went, to a bar, to a restaurant, to a social club, wherever that may be, a sports event, you'd bump into people you know, everywhere you went.
Okay.
And that was really nice. It felt like you belonged to part of a community, a wider community than just your area. Now with so many people here, we're seeing these geographical areas separated, and the traffic's bad, so people maybe on the Palm or the Marina don't want to go far. You know, no one wants to go to the DIFC of an evening because the traffic's bad. So that's one problem. But the other problem, and I'm saying this as a complainer, but I shouldn't complain, is the amount of tourists that come here. We didn't have that back then. And so I don't know who's an expat and who's a tourist. All those years ago, I knew you were working here.
Okay.
Whatever your job was, you were working here. And we were similar because of that, both living away from our homes, in another country, building the future for ourselves and our families. And so it's very easy to connect.
Okay. And now a lot of that is tourists, and they're only here for the weekend or the week.
Correct.
And it feels like more they're tourists as opposed to people that have decided to live here.
Yeah, you don't necessarily make the effort to get to know people in the way you would have done before.
Okay.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside, I view, is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the investment club.